there, Sir from 17 once again. This is my Metal Gear Solid 5 S-Rank walkthrough. This is the final mission of my walkthrough. It is episode 50, extreme variant of Sahelanthropus. So this is the Metal Gear Showdown, and I'm going to be doing it in D-Walker with the Gatling gun. The Gatling gun has 1500 rounds on the variant that I have of it, and when I call in a supply drop it's going to give it ammunition as well. The trick to this that I found worked best for me was to use the speediness to get away from him when he got close, and then shoot him on your way out, and watch what he does. Whenever you see him go to do an attack, you want to make it your focus to dodge that attack, because the attacks that this guy does do massive damage, as you just witnessed. I was lucky to be alive then. The thing to think of when it comes to the rocks is one-shots. If you get hit by the rocks exploding or bursting from places, it's pretty much death. I think the only reason it didn't kill me is because I was in D-Walker. And you'll notice I'm not wearing the battle dress. I'm using the sneaking suit for the advanced regenerative capabilities, sorry. And this move here, as soon as he pulls the whip out, you want to start booking it. Run anywhere but where you are, and you'll start being chased by those crazy crag-like thorns of rock. And this is me showing you how much rockets don't do. And I've already expressed my distaste for this fight. I think it's the worst one in the game. It's a mission that I don't miss. You'll also realise I've brought a tank with me that I'm not going to use. I was doing it just to experiment, and I ended up killing it, so it was a pretty good experiment, I guess. But D-Walker is the best way to do this. Because you're quick, you're nimble, and you can do damage from any distance with this machine gun. And it doesn't look like much, but it does add up. That's his missiles, be careful of those. And the strategy is literally, as soon as you see the boss attack, that was my fault, by the way. This thing controls like a piece of shit when it's sprinting. It's really something you have to control and get used to. And this was the second time I've ever used D-Walker. But I have to concede, this thing is ridiculously good at killing things. But as soon as you see him do the attacks, you just want to go into the speed mode and try to not hit things like I'm doing. Hitting things is bad, and it'll get you killed, but I got really lucky there. How I would fix this battle is pretty simple. I would have those things on his back all over him. Like, have other parts of his body just as weak as those things on his back. The damage he receives from you destroying those tubes is damage that it should be. It's damage that makes it a boss fight. The damage it receives from any other area is almost minuscule. It's close to not being noticeable. Like on his weak spot on his belly, you can kinda see it, but compared to when I shoot him in the back, just look at the contrast. And if this boss had a way so that every other area that you hurt him as much as those things on his back, this fight would be a lot more fun. Because watch what's about to happen. You see that? Look how much that took off. That's how much damage he should take. But he doesn't. And then it turns into this kind of shitfest to shooting him a million times. You can destroy his face, you can destroy his knees, you can destroy his arms, you can do all kinds of different things to him. I recommend destroying his face if you can, because it means that you'll complete one of the tasks and you'll never have to play this piece of shit mission again once you S-rank it. Another cool thing too is, depending on how strong your helicopter is, will depend on if it helps you. Also, that move just then, find the gap. If there is no gap, make it with your gun, and then go through it quickly. If you're in the middle of that when it goes up, you're dead. And then when you get the boss into the last... look at him batting away the supply drop. That looks awesome. Something to bear in mind, this machine gun will overheat. If it overheats, you're a sitting duck, and you really want to avoid that. Because if you've seen Die Hard 2, you know what happens to sitting ducks. But this thing does great damage, and there's still, I think, 1 or 2 more levels that this machine gun can go up. So just imagine how much better this gun's going to be if you've got a super powerful D-Walker. And then I overheat the gun and I get out and I start firing rockets. And the rockets do no damage because it's only, you know, one of the best rocket launchers on the game that has an almost max damage bar. Why would it do damage? And then he does this bit. The railgun is a one-hit kill, and it shoots through any surface. So I didn't realise that it could shoot through rock. I thought if you put a mountain between you and it, you were fine, but you're not, guys. So watch what happens here. You're going to see the lightning go through the rock. So I'm thinking, he can't touch me here, I'm fine. I've got Johnny 5, I'm alive, we're going to kick this. And then I'm fighting over how this thing controls, because every so often it gets a bit ungainly when it transitions from speedy to walking. But he shoots a couple of streaks of electricity, or whatever the railgun is. And then he sees us, and then I'm thinking, hang on. And watch. That's bad news. That's that moment where you'll realise, yeah, this could all go wrong in one spectacular shot that should never have hit me. And then he jumps, so that's good. So when he jumps, just back away from him, hit him in his stomach where his weak spot is. Try not to overheat your gun, and watch what he does. If he pulls the whip out, it's pretty simple stuff. What you want is him to jump at you. When he jumps at you in slow motion, if you shoot the little kiddie, it'll stun him, and then you can go on his underbelly and start shooting. I'm struggling here because I can't get off this rock. Fucking useless mobility machine. That was close. So shoot your gap and get out. As long as you're away from those rocks, you're fine. And this is actually a pretty simple fight, but if I were to tell you that you can die at any moment, you really need to believe me, because although it looks like I've been afforded quite a lot of fortunate misses, it's very easy to die. So shoot the kid, and then don't waste time shooting him in the face. Get on his underside and shoot that little container thing. It seems to do the most damage. Then again, it looks like it's doing the same damage, doesn't it? I don't get this fight. I blame Peace Walker for this, because every fight in Peace Walker is this. It's a creature that has so much life. The very rocket launcher you get when you first fight it isn't 1/10 of the machine it should be to actually do enough damage. Like, there are fights on Peace Walker where you first get to them, you don't have a rocket launcher strong enough to win. And I disagree with that. I think that's terrible design. And I understand why it was that way on the PSP, because they expected you to spend 9 weeks on subway trains going back and to work, and like building your army and stuff, and grinding and farming and all that other nonsense. But mechanically, it's not good gameplay. It's a time sink. It's like an MMO. It's designed to steal your time. That's all it does. And there he is, folks. And that's the end of the mission. Just by surviving it is pretty much guaranteeing the S rank, because you get all these crazy bonuses at the end. And that's it, folks. You now have your gold camouflage for Snake, you now have your achievement or trophy if that's your thing, or just the smug satisfaction of knowing that you've done, you know, one of the hardest things that's available to be done in this game. Which is saying something, although compared to the old games, is not really saying too much at all. But thank you for watching. Not too sure what my next project will be, but if there's a new game coming out and it's worth covering, know that I'm going to do my best to do so, and all the playthroughs that were happening before this project aired are going to start airing again before the next thing comes along to take priority. So thank you all for taking the time to watch, and you take care now.